Hey guys, before this video begins, I just want to say I talk a lot. Like, I'm just a talker. That's what I do. I just talk so much. That's all I do. So if you are new, never watched me before, I'm sorry. But hopefully all this stuff will help. This is basically what I did. You guys will see it. I think I talked for like a good mile, like legit, not even by time anymore. Now we're talking in miles, right? And I just talk a lot about what I did during this process, how I beat it, how I went through it. I hope you guys enjoy and best of luck. If this helps, please make sure to share it, all that good stuff. And if you need anything else, just let me know and I'll make sure to make it happen. Enjoy the video and let's get it. Yo, what is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Mosballin, and today I'm finally feeling a lot better. I took yesterday off pretty much. I just couldn't really do it anymore after all that grinding. It's been tough, right? Thankfully, I didn't lose any games. Once again, I said that probably would have been a big like issue to me. I feel like if I did lose anything, I might have like stressed a little more. There were some close calls though. There definitely was. If you guys were in the stream, so we did go into overtime one game and then I got off right after that. I took a nap. And then besides that, I think we had one other game where thankfully they missed the shot to win it. And besides that, I think every game we were good. Maybe a couple of scares, but other than that, we were definitely chilling. So I'm on current gen. I played all the games on current gen. That's some place that a lot of you guys were having trouble. I think that's where it's harder. I think next gen is a little easier because the CPU isn't on everything. Like, these guys are on steroids. They're on drugs, they're on everything you could possibly think of. But it doesn't even matter because I got you guys. I'm on a no auction house account, right? I'm on a no auction house account. I had trouble with one team that I didn't have enough players for. We'll talk about that later. You guys will see that in the next no auction house episode, which will probably be tomorrow, because I don't think I'll have time. Today we're gonna be streaming on my podcast channel. Yes, I'm gonna be on YouTube streaming on Doing the Most. We'll be streaming the 250k finals. There's gonna be locker codes. There's gonna be a lot of things going on, so definitely check that out if you have time. Put on the noties over there. We don't spam you guys with uploads. It's gonna be like once a week, so that's why I didn't even do a podcast this week, but I hope you guys are ready for that. All right, anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. I'm sorry if I took too long on this intro, but I'm ready. So I'm gonna go through the hard teams. I know there's some teams that you guys been struggling with, whether it was the superstar game or whatever. I know John Havlicek was a problem. I'm just gonna tell you guys what I did and all that good stuff. So right now, let's just build our team from scratch. All right, I'm gonna show you guys what we doing, and without an auction house, you guys know my team wasn't the best no matter what game I played. Just know that. I know the two hardest were obviously superstar and Hall of Fame. I'm gonna do 1/4 or a couple minutes of each one, like the three hardest, I guess, that people told me they had trouble with, because there's at least three like games that people always talk about, like whether it was Hondo that was giving them trouble, whether it was that DeMarcus Cousins game. I think no, maybe it was Kawhi. I'm bugging. I know when I look at it, but I think people were troubling with the Kyrie game and the Kawhi game. So there's just like a couple we'll go through. We'll talk about all that stuff. So originally, you know, you need 10 players for the Hall of Fame games, right? Like the Hall of Fame games, you're gonna need 10 players from a team. So I didn't even have good players. I was going in there with Amis, I was going in there with Rubies, and more times than not, it was tough. But the main goal is to use 3 players you're so comfortable with, like so comfortable with. So I'll build the team just off that alone. You guys know how I've been feeling about Evan Fournier. He's been my star, he's been my stud, he gets me through a lot. He's like my favorite shooter, he's my favorite driver, best defender, all that good stuff. Not really, obviously, but he's been that guy for me, and that's how I felt. Also, the next guy, Jameson. You know Jameson's been my guy for so long. So I was running Twan and Evan. I actually was running Antoine here, and I was running Sean Marion here. This is original team, right? When I first started, this was it. Plus, you guys probably saw that I pulled this Giannis. If you guys didn't see that I pulled Giannis, well, I pulled Giannis, and I was using him as center. I wanted someone who was faster than the other team, who can still do it all. There were other options. I was gonna use like Wayne Embry. Otherwise, maybe I think I would have used Berniani. Berniani might have been it, or Sabonis. I feel like I could have won with anyone, just so you guys know. And there were times I had to use other players. Now, you guys have an auction house, so remember, you can literally use anyone. There's so many good players. You could even use this Dwight. I think this Dwight is a beast. I think this Jarrett Allen could run. I think Aaron Baines could run. I think there's so many good options. Even like a Taco Fall could run on most guys. So I don't think that's your issue. I think point guard, I was running Russell Westbrook. So this was my main starting 5. Now, just know this, for every game you play, don't use a bench. There was not a single bench that was used on any of these games. I used the same 5 throughout. Now, if you for some reason use the same player over and over and over again, you may have a chance during the game, right? If you're like abusing the player, he's tired, there is a chance they get injured. That is the case. Now, it doesn't happen that often, but it is a possibility. So if you want, you can put a couple guys on your bench that are solid just in case, just a couple, but use your main 5 every game. That's what I did. I did that every game. No one got injured for me. Thankfully, there were a couple games, like in the harder ones, I had a bench just in case. But other than that, no. Now, after you get your guys that you're comfortable with, I love Russell Westbrook. I love how he attacks the basket. He's my play style. I'm going to show you guys what I do. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at one of these teams so I know what the restrictions are, right? So this is what I would play against the pro difficulties, the all-star, even the superstar difficulty, because you only needed 6 players from the team. So none of these Knicks players touch the court. None of these Warriors touch the court. None of these Cavs. None of these guys are touching the court. So this was one of the games I heard a lot of stuff about, this final game, Hall of Fame. So that's the one we're going to go through. 10 Wizards. So once again, I did get lucky. One of my Wizards is a starter on my team. You guys see it, right? One of them is, which is Antoine Jameson. So I'm assuming not everyone has that card. I'm going to assume that. So what would happen, right, is I would make my lineup like this. You guys are going to watch. As I make my lineup, we're going to go 1, 2. We're going to go 3 right here. I'm just going to make the lineup real quick and we'll talk in a second. So this would be my bench right here. You guys see it? There's 10 Wizards. I said I only use my starters. I just used the lowest thing because I didn't want to use too much MT. That was something big to me. And now I'm checking to see what other Wizards I have. So the one that I used was Jack. Jack was my other Wizard. That's the one I used personally. So I took out Fournier or Sean. Now I have a choice between the two. So for me, I would take out Sean right now and I'd put Jack, and I think this is a solid lineup. Now another option, if I feel like I'm undersized, which how do I know if I'm undersized, right? I back out of here and I go in here and I click square. You could compare the teams. I like to see who I'm playing up against. So the main problem that people are having is against John Havlicek, right? John Havlicek is a big problem for everyone. So you got to put your best defender on him. Now, you can change matchups in the game. You can make sure it's here right now. So Jack might be my best defender, or Fournier, or maybe now I'm like, oh man, I'm going to actually really play John Havlicek again. I want more size on the court. I want more size everywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Jack here. And I'm going to take out Evan Fournier because I feel like we can score. I feel like we're going to be good. And this is how I created my team. Remember, most of my lineup is free guys that I grinded besides Giannis. So I don't get anyone talking about, oh, you had Giannis that made it so easy. Just so you guys don't feel like that. I could use literally Wayne. I could use anyone. I don't really mind. I could use Berniani. I think Berniani could be dope. So let me do that real quick. I don't mind at all. So this will be my new lineup. I'm going through everything in this game. Let's go through it really quick. Let's play a quarter and let's see what's up. So I'm showing you guys what I did. This is not like with plays. I never ran a play in any of these. But if I was struggling, there was a couple things I did. I went into offensive settings, I went to freelance, and I set this up to Hawks. I use Hawks. You can use Bucks. Either or is valid, all right? Hawks or Bucks, those are the two I recommend. So I ran Hawks, right? Especially with Giannis, it didn't matter. So like I said, this is the only thing I set personally. I will make you guys another video on plays if you guys need so in the future. But this is what I did, so it was just easier to make you a video on what I did. So if you need defensive plays or defensive settings, this is what you could do. You can set this to tight or smother. Either or works. You could put it on smother. Off ball, you could either do deny or tight, put it on tight. My two settings for almost any game, if I'm playing and I'm struggling, is tight and tight. But on ball, you could actually put smother. A lot of people were telling me that in chat. That's what they run. That's fine. You could put drive help on no help. That's something that can be used as well. Otherwise, it really doesn't matter. Other things you can change, but you don't have to at all. Make sure this is off. This is very important that this is off no matter what game you're playing. You don't want it to change your defensive settings if you already set them yourself. And help defense, you could turn this on off as well. It's up to you. Honestly, it doesn't even matter in the computer games because I'll show you guys how I ran my defense more times than not. To be fair, I was on cruise control because I was just like bored out of my mind playing all these games back to back to back to back to back. That was annoying. One other thing I forgot to mention, actually, matchups. Matchups is huge no matter what game you play if you're playing. So you guys saw I had Westbrook. Westbrook is my shortest player on my team. They got Earl Monroe. That's their shortest player. They don't run him at the one. So I'm going to put Westbrook here. I'll put Jack on this. and I trust Marion to guard John Havlicek right now, right? That's my trust. So that's going to be how I set this up. Obviously, you can keep going and put Jameson on this. You could do Bargnani, but they will guard their original positions on auto, so it doesn't matter. So I didn't even have to set these three. But definitely, this is the switch I wanted. I put a bigger defender on Oscar, so I could slow him down, and Westbrook on that. Now, I attack the ball a lot of times, but you can off-ball a lot. You're watching Havlicek, right? That's what we're watching. We're rotating. This is where you practice. I'm telling you guys are going to be practicing right here. This is your practice against online. They're going to make a lot of shots. It's going to happen. You got to play your game. So we click right on the D-pad. Freelance pops up. You click L1, and then we click X. You guys will figure that all out on Xbox if you're there. But once again, you click this button, right? Like right on the D-pad, whatever it's called. And then now my offense literally was just a bunch of pick and rolls. That's all I did. I just ran pick and rolls, went around. If I felt like I had it, I went up with it. That was it. If I didn't, I had Giannis, so I threw him a lob. Have a guy you can throw lobs. I could have used Dwight to show you guys. Dwight would have been a cool dude to throw lobs to. Would have been a lot of fun. Now, I don't want to guard too much the ball. I want to watch a little bit more than I guard. So figure out who you want to off-ball. Someone that's not the greatest scorer. And Hondo is going to eat. You're going to know that. You got to throw different bodies at him. You got to throw stuff to slow him down. Me talking kind of throws me off. You're probably wondering why I'm not playing on that other court. It's because I already beat these teams, so I'm kind of just playing it for fun, right? So 2K is like, oh, you don't need to play, you know what I mean? You don't need to play on that same court and get bored again. Now, this is literally what I did every game, no matter if I was on Hall of Fame or not. I brought up my guard or someone who I know can recover, right? And I tried to steal the ball off the inbound. I tried to almost every play. You want to get the ball out of Havlicek's hands, so you're attacking him with as many bodies as possible. You also want to be very, very careful with the ball. You don't want to lose the ball. You want to icon pass if necessary. But if you force the defense to come out with you more, you get a lot more easier baskets at the rim. So we'll look at that one more time, right? We'll look at that again. And that was a really, really bad play right there. That just happens once again. At the end of the day, you can't like be like, oh my, this is a long game. Remember that. We say this about everything. You want to run the pick and roll high. Like I said, you got it right here. Feel like you got a lob. Lobs are so overpowered in this. You are going to miss a few. It happens. Giannis was missing way more lobs than I thought should have been missed. And let's go down. I actually want to go down. All right, cool. We're up right here. And we're slowing it down. If I feel like I see something, I'm going for it. You want to know your icons. I was telling people this all the time. If you know your icons, you are golden. Remember, your shooting guard is circle, square is your small forward, triangle. Once again, I'm going off PlayStation, so you guys got to figure it out. So click R1 and look at your icons, memorize them. These are going to be your icons pretty much every game, right? So know what you're doing and icon pass if necessary. If not, you bullet, right? You point it where you want it, and once you drive, a lot of people are gonna crash. Once they double up top, it's best to icon. If you don't icon, a lot of times you're gonna throw it to the middle of the court and Bill Russell's gonna steal it, or whoever the case is. So as I was catching my breath, Havlicek hit another three, and Havlicek is going crazy right now. That's perfect. That's perfectly fine. You're watching it right here. I see it. I waited to see if anyone was gonna help. If not, I got the roller down the middle. So once again, no plays are necessary for this. Remember, this is the game you need to win by 10. So now we got to put on the skates. So we'll go up 10 right here because maybe some of you guys are winning the game, just not winning by 10. So as soon as I go up by 10, we'll just call it a night. But you want to put your neck, not your neck, you want to put your foot on their neck and step on it. So one thing I was doing, like I said, is I was just running at the ball every chance I got. The first quarter is gonna be close anyway. You just want to start building a lead. You want to go up a little bit, but like I said, the offense is gonna come to you guys really, really easy as you just do pick and rolls, learn your icons and all that good stuff. I don't think you guys should have trouble scoring after that. It's more about defense now, right? So now you're just trying to figure out how to defend, and it sucks that I don't have Giannis because Giannis is so much faster and helps me so much defensively, honestly. You guys probably didn't see that play, but they helped perfectly. You see how they're helping on Bargnani? They're leaving the corner open, and that's where I icon pass to make sure it goes to the corner. If I tried to point it, it probably would have went to Bargnani because Bargnani was on that side as well. But you guys can see I'm putting as much pressure as I can on the ball, and my job is to recover, right? My job is to recover. You put the pressure on and let your team do your thing. Don't force. Like, that was a force. I'd rather go slow. I'd rather call a pick and roll unless I know for a fact I got the clear basket, okay? Here, I'm helping a little bit. I'm showing just enough, and I can recover off of that. I know I can recover. I'm not stressing it. Now, if Hondo, aka John Havlicek, is the guy that's really causing you the most trouble, right? one thing you guys need to know is he's not on the court all the time. He does take breathers, so that's when you want to attack more than, if anything. Like, that's where you could be more fearless with your defense. I'm going to show you guys another way I score very well, or one main thing that some people in stream were like, yo, how are you doing this? What are you doing? So I will show you guys. You probably just seen it right there. Now you watch as I set the screen, right? I'm watching. I see that he helps the middle, so now I throw it to Marion. Dot. Remember, very, very important that you icon pass. Very important. Now here we go with another way to score. You can hold down triangle. Triangle holds it, someone cuts every time. So what I do is usually that's the spot I like to cut from. If I feel like I'm bored of the pick and roll or something, I'll call for a cut right over there. And look at that defense. You take advantage of Hondo not on the court. I know that's my basket. So now I'm up 9. I'm feeling good about myself. I don't need to call timeouts myself. I'm gonna just say it. The 5 players can play the whole time. So whenever the computer used the timeout was the only times I called the one timeout in all the games I played. It was because they were making a run and Hondo just actually missed the shot, aka Havlicek. And see, that's a bad take. Don't do that. A lot of times you're not going to make that, especially on Hall of Fame. Anything else, obviously you can, but on Hall of Fame, you're not. So once again, you guys are going to see I'm rotating a lot myself. That's what I like to do. I like to rotate, meet them at the rim myself. I like to just put so much more attention on them. Now, one thing you could do, see, we're playing Bill Russell. I know Bill Russell can't shoot, so I could just hover with my center if you want to let your CPU play a little bit more defense, but it's going to hurt you in other aspects, right? Most of these guys can shoot. Most of them will hit shots. So you want to be able to move around yourself, be able to do all that. Here we go. Look, pick and roll with the cut now. So I'm calling for the cut somewhere else. If it's not there, you cancel it. So I just canceled it. You probably didn't see it because I needed to catch my breath. But if I want to cancel and not pass, I hold circle and it fake passes. Sometimes you're going to have bad possessions. That's perfectly fine. Try not to get a 24. Wow, I actually hit that. Try not to get a 24 because if you don't, you have a chance to actually get the rebound, right? So usually a lot of times I'll hold the ball the whole shot clock. I'll make sure I hold it so I can waste time. Like right now I know I'm up. So why not I hold it for almost 20 to 22 seconds or whatever and take a shot last second, whether it's a good shot to score or a bad shot, and I try to get my own rebound. And that way I don't have to worry about them trying to score right back. Try to be in a sense where you don't turn the ball over that much. So I guess we're going to play a little bit more of this game. I will go over the other games as well as we go through it. I am also lucky I had good wizards, so that helped me out maybe in this game a little more. But regardless, like I said, I won games with rubies and stuff. I love transition because usually that's my lob, honestly. That's usually my lob with Giannis. I do that in transition. You see this though, that works out perfectly. Once you get a lot of assists with the player or a lot of points, they double you and it makes your job so much easier. I love the doubles. I live for the doubles. That's what we do, right? And look at that steal. That's how I get my steals. Once again, we're playing on Hall of Fame. You could get a lot of steals that way. Get Havlicek in foul trouble. Do whatever you want. If you feel like you have the lane, if you feel like you're going to make it, take it up. You don't have to reset. And now look, let's pretend we're in the fourth quarter. Obviously, they play a little better in the fourth. But if you feel like they're coming back and you're not going to win by 10, just slow down the game completely. You want to slow down the game, kill the clock, especially if you're up 15, 16 and you were struggling before. You want to be able to do that. I'm calling for the cut right here. I don't have it. I'm canceling it. I'm calling circle. Circle brings them back out. And this is what I do. Honestly, I'm not even looking to shoot anymore. If I'm up by a good amount and that's all I need, I'll take a bad shot a couple times. And now I'm relying on my defense. We're trying to get back here and I'm back good enough, but they get the putback. That's fine. Now I know I got to play a little better offensively. So you're just living, you're learning, you're going through the process yourself. But this is your offense right here. Look, bang, bang, beautifully run. As soon as they double, I know where people are going to be. I don't have to icon every time. If you're able to point your stick should help you and be able to point it where you want. And one thing you guys should know is all this is going to help you in the long run when you play online and stuff. And look, the CPU just ran the same pretty much play right back at me. Now, that was the main game people were telling me they were struggling with. Defense, just throw bodies at Havlicek if he's the one messing you up. That's the main game plan. Make sure you're looking at the teams before the game start. I think this was the main one people were struggling with too, right? Let me just double check. This was for Kawhi Leonard, yeah. So game 5, against this, you need to use 10 bulls, and this is the lineup you're playing against. So this is a scary, scary lineup. A lot of opals, a lot of great, great pink diamonds as well. Besides that, LeBron Moments one ain't the greatest, and you need to use bulls. So let's go ahead and make my lineup again. So the cool thing with this one is I don't have any good bulls. You're gonna see it right now. I have zero good bulls. But you're gonna see how I decided to use the team I decided to use, and basically what I figured out, what I learned along the process by just trusting my team and using the best 3 I knew were gonna be there for me. So right here you can see the best bulls I have. This is it: Dennis Rodman, Jordan, Eddie Curry, whatever. And I don't have an auction house once again, so I just gotta live with what I have. Another team that was really difficult were like the ones with the Pelicans. I'll show you guys what I did for that one and what team I ran for that. But you guys can see I don't really have a star or anything, so I had to decide who I thought I could run with without really downgrading my main core, and that was Derrick Rose. I was like, Derrick Rose to Russell Westbrook ain't that much of a difference, and I obviously gotta use Dennis Rodman. He's a great defender, can rebound. Now the question is, do I want to run Dennis at the 3 or the 4? And I'm gonna obviously run D Rose at the 1. So with that said, I go ahead and replace D Rose with Russell Westbrook. I just go ahead and do that right away, and now I'm sitting here like, yo, what do I do here? I have to put this dude Dennis Rodman somewhere on the court, and I don't know what to do. So my call was, the bigger you are as a team, the better defensively, the better offensively, all that. So Rodman ran the 3 for me. Since I could run him at the 3, why not put him there? So now, assuming you made it to this game, you probably have a little better of a team by now. You probably got some players you're more comfortable with, players you're more chilling with, and all that good stuff. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out Jack, even though he's nice. I'm gonna put Fournier, that's who I like. But you might have already got West unsold by this point. I'm pretty sure I already used West in this game, but I won't do that for you guys. We'll run Jameson, but if I run Jameson, I might as well put him at the 3, Dennis at the 4. And let me go back to my center, please, just so I can show you guys literally what I did, just to make my life easier, because I'm more comfortable like this. But now I have my 10 bulls in my lineup. Fine. I could win this with anybody. So let's use Dwight Howard, right? So we'll use Dwight. We got D Rose, we got Dennis Rodman, Jameson, Fournier. These are guys I really love their jump shots. So once I get doubled up top, these are the guys I'm going to. Fournier, I'm probably running the offense through instead of D Rose, but I think I still ran it through D Rose personally. I'm just giving you guys ideas and stuff. And let's get into this game. We're not going to talk too much. This one's going to be a little faster, right? I'm looking at the lineup right now, and I'm like, D Rose can't guard Luka. It's not happening. D Rose is not guarding Luka, and I actually did this when I was heading into this game. Remember, people already tell me which games are hard before I get to them, so it's already kind of a heads up. It's kind of cool. So I go straight to matchups. And I'm like, say less, Fournier is guarding Luka. I got Rose here, and I got Jameson on this. Or I could honestly put Rodman on this to kind of put a little more sides on quiet if I feel like it. And I could put Jameson on this. That's perfectly fine. You know, Dwight can guard this right here, so I'm chilling. And my 5 are playing the whole game regardless. Now here we go. I didn't set my freelance this time. You can set your freelance. Once again, the freelance will help you guys a lot offensively. So since my offense is mainly pick and rolls, I feel like just doing that is fine. If I don't see the roll, I reset. Holding circle makes your player come back up and you can reset, and it happens where you don't get a play, right? If you can't score, maybe they're really good and it's hard to score on them, right? Maybe that is the case. I don't want this matchup at all. I don't want Luka abusing him, so I double. I bring over to help myself, and now I love shooting with Jameson. He's my guy I'm comfortable with, so I shoot no matter what Hall of Fame difficulty, whatever it is. That's why I said your main 3 have to be people you're comfortable with. If you have a guy you're lights out with, whether it's Emmy, Klay Thompson, maybe that's who you're most comfortable with, keep running him. He's a great shooter. He's going to do his thing. So right here on defense, I'm trying to read what they're trying to do, and I see it, but now I can't recover. It's fine. I'm not going to always be able to recover. If I feel like I'm going to struggle, I go ahead. Offensive settings, once again, freelance, set it on Hawks or Bucks. We can do Bucks this time. That's fine, so I can show you both if you're still watching the video. And we could put this on tight, and we should be good to go. Now, as I come up, click right, L1, and Bucks. Here we go. Now, we have the offense that we want. Once again, I know my icons. Remember, knowing your icons is important. You saw how Kawhi tried to help. I want Kawhi to help. That's what I want. That's what I live for. If I see it, I feel like I got it, I'm taking it. A good thing is if you know how to speed boost, you can get to the rim almost every single time. I'm not a guy that really knows how to speed boost because I never wanted to learn it. It's not something I want to incorporate in my game like that. People are always like, oh, you don't know how to. Bro, I don't want to know how to. It's not something that I could have learned that years ago, but it's like, why? I play this game all the time, and I just don't like the play. I don't like how it works. I don't like how cheesy it is. So I try to stay away from it as much as I can, and that's what I've been doing. Here we go. They got numbers. They got a good shooter. He's trying to step back on me. It doesn't work out. So now I'll teach you guys how to manually call for a double as well. They're gonna hit crazy shots. Thankfully, this one's not win by 10. I will go up by 10 or so right here before we start, or get off, I should say. But here we go. We got Fournier. This is my guy. I love Fournier. I could do everything with Fournier. Anything meant to be. I could shoot that all day confidently. I shoot that with confidence all the time. Even if I don't green, I know it's going in because he has the badges, especially flexible and all that. And my defense, once again, I want to put pressure on the ball handler. I want to rotate, and that's great defense. You guys seen it. You want to help. And icons on defense are important. I will say some of the things I'm saying might not be like the easiest things in the world right as soon as you start, but this is easy right there. Pick and rolls and then double tap triangle, you throw the lob. I was doing that with Giannis almost every single play. Giannis was getting lobs pretty much 5 times a quarter easily just off a pick and roll, and I was comfortable with that. Other than that, once they started slowing it down a little bit, right here I'm slowing it down because I don't like what's going on, and I'm resetting and I'm calling the pick and roll. Pick and roll's coming. I'm good. I slow it down. Bang. That's it right there. Every time you're scoring 99% of the time, unless they want to miss it. If you feel like you can't get it, don't throw it. Reset, and you have 24 seconds to work with. So sometimes I was going fast, sometimes I was going slow. A lot of times, honestly, I was holding the ball, I'll be honest, especially like after a while, you just get bored. So you hold the ball a little bit more and you're just like, all right, let me just waste time because I don't want to play defense. I don't want to do this. But you see, bang. Use it with Dwight Howard. Honestly, he might be an amethyst, but he's still gonna get the job done. I hope this helps, guys. I really do. One thing I will show once again before we leave is how to manually double team. I didn't show you guys how to do that, and that's basically when you click the buttons to bring over the double. That can be helpful if you're like guarding with the center down low and you feel like you could rotate really well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold down L1. L1's gonna bring over the double, and wow, great defense, Jameson. Great stuff. I didn't even give him a chance to bring over the help. A lot of the times you can hover just with your big man if you can recover very well. Like I said, that's probably key stuff to do, and you can bring over the help as much as possible. They will miss a lot of shots if they see a second body. All right, maybe with one body they're hitting a lot of times because they see it, but other times they're not. Now, another thing I will say real quick, right, besides just shooting, I love shooting with my guys. Once again, this is on Hall of Fame. I love shooting on Hall of Fame if I know the guy's release. If I don't, I'm probably not shooting as much, but there are times where we were still able to hit. I'm just gonna show you guys 2 more things as we back out of here, but bang, I see it. I feel like that's a good lob, and I'm throwing it. If you feel like it's a good lob, don't be scared. We're already up 13, and now I'm on cruise control. Obviously, I want to keep the pressure on because I don't want them to come back. But you see we're bringing over the help. They hit that, they go and 1, and you're like, oh man, they're about to come back, they're about to beat you. It is what it is. Now this is another hard game. This is the one for Kyrie Irving, right? You're trying to win Kyrie Irving. Now this one was kind of like one of those annoying ones because you need 10 Pelicans players, and you needed 10 Pelicans 3 different times. 3 different times you needed 10 Pelicans. So we're gonna take a look at this one right here as what I made the team look like and all that good stuff. We'll discuss this. I didn't really have options with my Pelicans at all. I literally had 0 options. I just had to use what I had, and literally I only had 10. So we'll take a look at that right here. I won't go in the game. I feel like I showed you guys enough gameplay. This one will be just me building the lineup. So this is my bench for the Pelicans, and now you're about to see my starters. Thankfully, I'm so thankful I had Drew Holiday. So Drew Holiday was going to be my starting point guard, which I could rock with. Once again, this wasn't like the worst possible team I could run with, because there have been worse. There really has been. Like, I literally had to use like Udonis Haslem and like Tyler Hero. I had to use like Ruby Dort, which Ruby Dort's not bad, but I've had to use like Rubies and some of these really bad cards. Like there was big men I couldn't run and like all this other stuff. You guys will see. But basically, now this is where I had an issue the first time I played. I decided for some reason, because I wasn't really paying attention when I was playing, I was like pretty tired, and I went and I put Sapphire Zion on the lineup. So I was literally playing with Sapphire Zion, who can't even run like anything besides the 4 really. So then I realized I had 2 Zions that were free agents, and one of them is actually fire. So as you look, this one has 20 Hall of Fame badges. This one has like 18 whatever gold badges. So I ended up using this one right here, and I was like, bro, why didn't I use that in the beginning? And I actually didn't even realize he could run the 3. I thought he was 4 or 5 locked. That probably would have made my life even easier, but it was solid. I just went in here with this, and as always, you guys see I use my core guys as much as I can, as long as I can use them. If I can't, say I'm gonna use a 3, then I'll do that. If I can run like a shooting guard instead, like say for example I'm running with a team that like the Kings or whatever, and I'm using Buddy Hield, now I'll just use like Jack here, or I'll use Marion here, but my core is still there. My core will always be there. I don't change that up. I only use 5. I run pick and rolls, that's it. Splash taught me how to run offense. You guys know the clip. If you don't, go watch my podcast channel. But that was literally it. Make sure you icon pass. Defensive settings, like I said, just rotate with the guy that can't shoot, or just keep rotating. I think that's a great way to learn how to play defense if you didn't know how to play defense before. And once you're done with all that, you end up getting one of the best teams you could possibly make. No money spent, for real, for real. You guys could just see like the lineup you could create afterwards. You could create a lineup like that can just be anybody, like just all guys that are basically free, right? This is literally free lineups you can create right here. Dave is nasty. There's just so many good cards. And after you beat a team, honestly, like say you beat the Dave team from first game, you can run this guy. He can run your 3 and 4. He's great defensively and all that. So all you got to do is really beat one team, and then your team just starts getting better and better. Go at your own pace. One thing I will recommend that I didn't talk about earlier for some reason, but if you made it this far now, you know, is don't do XP challenges except in the pro games, all-star games. Anything other than that, like the big games, use your best 5 for sure. Like even starting from superstar starts getting harder. Hall of Fame, whatever it is, especially on current gen, this is where we're talking. If you guys feel like you need plays after this, maybe I'll do like a best plays thing. I'll work on that for you guys in the future, but this is what I did, and I beat all of it with no issues. I wish you guys all the best. Let me know what's good with y'all, and I'll see you guys later. It's been your boy Mosballin. Please make sure you subscribe for all these great content, always and forever. Whatever questions you guys have, I'll make sure to answer them anytime, and I'll be live once again on YouTube on Doing the Most. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. I'll see you guys later. It's been your boy Mosballin, and Ballin out.